Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about something, that needs to be said. This is something I see frequently, and I would say the biggest problem I see with people with lifting and reaching their long-term goals is that they let life get in the way. Meaning, in other words, their consistency is hurt when any major events come up in their life, to where either maybe they're fatigued, they're tired, they're working more hours, something changes in their life. They have a sick loved one they have to tend to more, they have a newborn child, work picks up, stress picks up. Something gets in the way, and when they realize they can't do their normal full training, what do you think happens? They just stop. And this is one of the reasons I tell people it is extremely important that we do several things. Number one, we pick our core exercises. Like, what are your foundational exercises, your 3, 4, 5 movements that you do every week, no matter what, that are your fallback position? So in my case, what are they right now? Squat, bench, deadlift, pull-up, curls, right? Barbell curls, right? Those are my 5. So if something were to happen to where somehow my time or fatigue or recovery impacted it in such a way that I couldn't do anything else, I could at least fall back to those. That's one of the things I point out to people. Having those set of exercises that are giving you 80% of your results, right? 70, 80% of your results. Why is it important to have those? And that are kind of working all of our most important areas for us. Because we can't always come in and give 100%. Sometimes for a session, sometimes for a week, sometimes for 3 months. Okay? And this is kind of a big deal. It's important to understand this. Because what happens if life gets in the way? And let's say we can only get to the gym for half the time we normally get to it, or a third of the time that we normally get to it. Then what? You better have a game plan. And if you at least have your foundational movements that give you 70% of your results, or 80%, right? You can at least come in and do those. And then we cut any of the extra stuff out. Look, you just don't have the time or energy for it. Come in and do the main stuff, go home, right? You may not have time for all the other smaller stuff. You do your main stuff. I get people like, really? You come in and have someone just do a couple sets of squats and deadlifts and go home as a lower day? Yup. Maybe some reverse hyper if they have access to one. Absolutely. Would I have someone come in if they cannot handle a full workout? They're working all this overtime. If something's come up, newborn child, something. Could they come in and bench press, pull up, and do curls and leave? Yeah. Yes, they could. What if it's only a couple sets? What if I only have time? You could superset 2 sets of bench, 2 sets of pull-ups, 2 sets of extensions, 2 sets of curls, and go home. 4 supersets. Push them hard. What if you came in and did that? Anyone out there, unless you are monstrously big, probably on a ton of gear, do you really think you're going to lose any gains if that's all you did? You're like, but I wouldn't make any. But what happens if you do that and say for 3 months, 4 months, something comes up in your life and that's all you can squeeze in? Are you really going to lose any muscle, any real strength? Probably not. Probably not going to lose anything. So you don't have to restart. You don't ever restart and have to rebuild off old muscle memory and detraining. Okay? This is the other reason I also tell people be careful of the ultra high volume training. Because what happens if that becomes the only thing that you know how to do? Then you suddenly can't do it. And when guys start to believe that, I've seen guys who do that, they're like, but if I don't do all of this, I can't make any progress. Because they're so used to that mindset that they have to have that 2-hour workout. I've got to do 20 sets per muscle group every week. And I'm over here going, Really, I think you could do 4 or 5 sets. I think you could do 5 sets, 4 sets if you had to. Probably be okay. Worst case scenario. You'll keep all your muscle. Only thing you might lose is a little bit of glycogen storage. You may not make any gains, depending on how advanced you are. You may not make any gains. Okay? That's the other thing to think about. The other thing to think about. You get too used to the really high volume training, you actually believe it's the only thing that could ever work. It's not. It's absolutely not. That's the other thing we talked to about consistency. Unless you are sick, unless you are physically sick or something is happening with traveling or whatever where you really, really can't train, if you're not missing any normal scheduled workouts ever, it becomes your habit. If you do bench press and pull-ups every Monday and you squat and deadlift every Friday for 2 or 3 years straight, it just becomes your normal, right? Becomes your normal. Setting those habits and not missing the workouts. Again, if you're sick, you shouldn't. That's where I will tell people, if you got the flu, you have no business in the gym, right? Common sense. Not only are your workouts going to suck, you're not going to get anything out of it. It's going to slow down your recovery, and you're going to spread stuff to other people. So I'm not telling people to do that. That's just irresponsible. But barring illness, you get to the gym. Once you set those habits, and if you have a game plan like that, and you always know what lifts are really important to your progress and gains in what you're doing, what are your most important lifts? When these events come up, you can still do those things. You get in and you get something done, and if they're effective, you're not just coming in, since I'm short on time, I'm just only going to do, abs. Well, that's just dumb. No, you get in and do your important stuff, Do your squat, your bench press, your deadlifts, your pull-ups, that sort of thing. Get in, get out. Also, the other thing of people who think they need excessive warm-up routines. People freak out when they see how I warm up. Like, how do you warm up for a heavy deadlift? I do 2 singles and then I pull. What do you mean? You guys have watched me deadlift 600 plus pounds as my 3rd rep of the day. Okay, sorry, that's how I warm up. I do a couple, but I'm also in good shape. I'm used to lifting heavy. Right? Everyone thinks they need excessive warm-up routines all the time. No, you get in and do some lifting with the movements you need. Get in and train. Okay? A lot of people don't like that. That's what I do, and people are entitled to their own opinions. Do what you need to do. Do what you feel safe and effective. But just pointing out, you'll need to learn how to get those warm-up routines trimmed way down when life gets in your way. Right? Just some advice. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.